Hello my friends, I got a beautiful new kit by Dragon, the 250, which is a really cool little German reconnaissance vehicle from World War II. And it comes out of my Dragon stash here, and I've got some 251s there. And I've just got one of the 3-ton trucks. But yeah, pretty cool little, I love building my Dragon models, but I've got heaps of mini art stuff. That's a big mini art stash. And you can see my Dragon stash is a lot smaller because I tend to build them because I really like doing them. But this kit was going to be really cool, so we'll build it up now because I haven't built a kit for a while. It's got all these cool little features. You can build the Z version or you can build the actual E version. But this is, it kind of looks like a smaller 251, but this ended up being a vehicle in its own right, with its own problems, own manufacturing problems and all that kind of stuff. And they start building these in about 1942. Very effective on the battlefield. And this one's got a little 2-centimeter cannon turret thingy. So let's build it up and have a look, see how it goes. So I've got the wheels on here. Just show you those wheels, they look pretty good. How they've got really, it's a little bit out of whack there, but the tracks, when you put them on, that'll square it all up. And those tracks are very fiddly to make. So you get these little things here and you've got to put them together like that. And then you add this other little part and you've got to glue it on gently so it can remain movable. And they've just gone with a basic sort of bathtub bottom base here. So it looks pretty simple. Really simple to build up. They were really easy, everything clicks in so it goes into the right position. You put some wheels on and then we're up to putting the tracks on, and then we can start putting the front suspension on, all that kind of stuff. So fiddly little process. You got to use your little things there, your little tools to get it to work, but not easy. Alright, so now I've got both of the tracks on and they've come up very good. Those tracks are really nice in the end. And they go on very well. So 38 of them is exactly how many you needed. And that was on both sides. It's a little bit, you know, a little bit too much, but it's pretty much right. You couldn't squeeze any more out of that, any more tightness. And I've got the front suspension here on, where you attach the wheels, but I accidentally lost the attachment under here to the wheel thing, but that shouldn't matter. You shouldn't look at that too much. It's on the floor somewhere. I heard it fall, but God, I can't find it. Can't find it anywhere. Those floor gremlins really take it away. So now we've got that done, we can build this rear part here, so the sort of rear toe ball, rear towing port, and I've got the wheels to be made up here, and they're just a simple, really simple wheel, just 2 parts, and then you just put it on right there. But there's no real writing on it or anything. It's very simple. You get another type of wheel in there that you can build up, but they don't choose that one in this instruction. So you got the middle bit there. But I wouldn't mind building this wheel up and seeing what it looks like, seeing if it is actually better than this one. And I might install it if it is. But let's see how we go. So we've got this all together now. We can start putting in the interior part here, and this will I'll have to start painting up things soon. Also get the engine done. Don't know if I'm going to have the engine showing or not, but this certainly does attach to a what do you call it? The thing where you change the gears. Oh, my mind's blanked. Anyway, you know what it is. Alright, I'll speak to you again very soon, and we'll see how this thing's going. Okie dokie, so we're building up a lot of the interior now, and I've got a bit of the painting done. So we're going to have the bottom of it painted in the rust protection, and then as we build it up, we'll get a bit of the lighter colour. So I'll put in like a sort of a creamy colour there with this. That looks okay, but God, it looks dated. This early stuff looks dated, like the interior stuff here looks really dated. Look at these engines, like how dated does that look? I think I'll even skip the engine, I don't think I'll put it in. Transmission just doesn't look that great. Now the exterior parts look really good. It looks really modern from the exterior parts, but the interior here just looks terrible. And then we've got some of these side parts we're going to put in. Not much detail on them. So hopefully it does start to get a little bit better looking. I did build up the driving figure they put in, and it doesn't fit. So you're going to have to cut the feet off if you want to put him in. And I also suspect that will have too much height here on the head. So if you're going to put him in, you'll have to take the top of the hat off as well. So I don't think I'm going to install this figure. He isn't that good anyway. It's very 2000 sort of 1990s sort of figure. Not great, not great. But the rest of it's pretty good. So let's keep going and we'll see what happens. Alrighty, so now we're progressing very well. I've just finished work and I've got most of this interior built now. It's starting to look pretty cool. Oh, the wheel just came off, but I've kept them loose so we can paint them separately. And it actually fits together very bloody well. And you've got some nice little details here. So you've got some nice little, what do you call them? 3D printed boxes. We've got a little bit of photo etch on the rear here. And we've also got some photo etch along the side. These fenders fit together very well. And everything fits together real nice. You just got to be careful how you do fit it, because it can go together wrong and you can glue it together all wrong. But I'm just really starting to get that. I didn't need to put the engine in because I think I'm going to have this closed. But this all seems to fit together really well. So we can get that in nicely like that. And of course, when you get the glue in, you'll make that fit nice. And also we've got to build now is this rear part here, and then we can actually get started on the 20mm cannon turret thingy, which is just there. So I'm sort of up to this part here. I'm just getting this all sort of finalized. Got to put those lights on, and then we get to build the cannons and stuff like that. And there's a actual metal barrel included with a 3D printed muzzle thingy, muzzle brake, I suppose. So we'll get that all together and we'll see how we go. And we're nearly up to the final painting process. So this is the final stage here. So I want to get this built first. I've already put these on, you see, I did this early, and you have to cut the rear part of this off. So you have to just cut this rear part off. You don't need to cut the guides off like they say in the instructions, you just need to cut the rear part off. But coming together really good. But as you can see, when the roof goes on, you're not going to be able to see a heap. It's going to be really dark in there and all that kind of stuff. All right, my friends, let's keep cracking on. Okay, so we're moving along really well now. So I've nearly built up the 20mm cannon, and I've put on the metal barrel. I had to cut off the original barrel. Where is it? Just there. And I had to drill a little bit of a hole with this thing and put the metal barrel in. And we've also got this tiny little muzzle brake right there, made out of 3D printed parts. So that'll go in. But what's really disappointing is the instructions. Like, it doesn't tell you to include this little part here. See this little part at the bottom of this rear plate here? And if you don't add this bottom part here, it won't actually fit. So what part is that? So if we turn this over. Sorry, my cat's dying. Everything's in a mess at the moment. So let's have a look-ski here. Here we go. So it's K9. You've got to add that to the bottom of the door here. And it's really easy to work out, but they don't call that out in the instructions, which is very annoying. There's a lot of other stuff they don't call out in the instructions, but they don't call that out in the instructions there. Also, I've got this top part here ready to go. Well, not ready to go. I'm starting to get it ready to go. So we've got these little parts here. I've added the decals. We've still got a lot of painting to go to bring out the details of the radio set and all that kind of stuff. But I had a look at SD KFZ 250s with the 2cm turret that we're working on, and they do have this little part installed here but they've got the bolts removed in the middle there. So we're going to remove those 4 bolts and we're going to fill that hole properly there. And we're going to add this part here, sort of the protrusion, and that should actually be pretty cool. Should come together good. But with these instructions, you're going to have to do your own research, and you're going to have to work out how to build this thing by yourself, because these instructions are fucking useless.